Pleased to meet you. This is Fixed and Folded, the knife review channel for the casual knife collector. I am Cody. Tommy is hiding on me. He can't find where he is, so we're going to have a video without Tommy this time. Sorry, there's no Tommy anywhere. But I'm going to be doing a review of the Kizlyar Bloke X folding knife. I have a Kizlyar Phoenix 1 fixed blade knife that is awesome, that I absolutely love. You can check out one of my early reviews of that knife on my channel if you want. And discovered that they make some folding knives also. And I liked their large folding knife series. One of my favorites is this large working knife design, the Bloke X. They also have a tactical version using a similar handle called the Bloke Z, which has, or Z if you're American, it has a black handle, which I think it just has a saber grind, has a, what do you call that, a fuller in the middle, a bit more of a pointy spear point look to it, but this has some charm. This one has a nice high hollow grind with a satin finish blade. Material is D2 and G10. It's a liner lock with steel liners, and there is no milling, so this is solid feeling. I call this extra large size. You'll see when I do my size comparison that this is bigger than a full-size knife. I'd say this is comparable to Recon 1 or even Cold Steel 8010 in terms of the intended use. Definitely can do heavy duty with this. This could be a heavy duty work knife or survival knife. So fit and finish is pretty good. I can get it pretty close to centered. No, I can get this perfectly centered. It's not quite perfectly centered right now, but this is adjustable. Both of these pivot screws are active. And so by fiddling with the tension, you can zero in the centering. The pivot washers are nylon. We got nylon pivot washers. And I've gotten it nice and flicky, but it was very stiff out of the box. Just had to adjust the pivot tension and play with it. Just play the loosening game until it gets nice and manageable. The thumb studs are, as you can see, they're stepped and they taper. The tension is medium to stiff detent with the detent ball. I'd say on the stiff side. The placement is, I see why they put the thumb studs here. I wish that Kizlyar raised the thumb studs a bit to make it more centered so that you could have easier access with your thumbs on here. As it stands, it's easiest to thumb flick it. I use the joint of my thumb to open it, and it's quite stiff. These are quite sharp with the stepped this design of the barrel spacers. It's not comfortable to do this. You can use the tip of your thumb. I'd say the best ways are to do a slow roll with the tip or a thumb flick. If I use the joint of my thumb, it's quite sharp feeling. Now I see why Kizlyar has this forward because of this front finger guard portion. There's not a lot of distance between the barrel space or the thumb stud and the handle. I do wish though that they brought it back a few millimeters so that this was more centered, like you get on the Recon series, where this is actually even forward, but you do get really nice access with the thumb, the nice space here. You can see whereas this is up, this was down, and you can see the space between the handle and the thumb stud where this is quite close, right? That being said, it makes it good access for thumb flicking. So I'd say the placement is not ideal, but functional. That's the only method of deployment on this. Once you have it deployed, you have good liner lockup. I'd say that's between 30 and 40% lockup, and it's a good thick steel liner. This jimping is it's good, it's usable, and you have, as you can see here, you've got a cutout more on this side of the handle than on the other side to give you good access to the liner. So it's easy to get in there with your thumb and begin to close it. You have a nice controlled close, smooth and controlled with the nylon washers. The feel in the hand feels nice and secure with these, you got a palm swell on the back, the palm there, and it does really hold you in with this, whatever you want to call this, bullseye or shockwave style of this pattern. It's just concentric circles that go out there, and it does create some relatively aggressive traction. The handle pattern itself is more of a medium grit. It's nothing like the old school Recon ones that have a real coarse grit on the handle. This is more medium. Pivot screws are T8s, and the body screws and the clip screws are T6s. The taper is just at the last sixth, and it tapers to a stout point. And so this is made to be a durable piercer more than efficient. You get some good slicing ability with this deep hollow grind. For quite a bit of travel down up the blade is nice and thin, so this will be good. This will be good, efficient at slicing until you reach to the top here where you have a pretty thick blade stock. Overall, with D2 and this type of grind, it's a good balance of slicing and durability. The cutting edge out of the box is even on both sides and pretty sharp at cutting receipt paper. A bit of a snag at the belly here. I just did a light stropping on it, and you can see how it does now. For a large working knife, I'd say this is acceptable. It's not the most efficient slicer. It will do the job for EDC tasks. So, not bad. I'll give you some specs here. You have a total blade length of 3.8 inches with the cutting edge of the same, 3.8. You have a total handle length of 5 inches, so what is 5 plus 3.8? 8.8 inches total length. Let's just double check my math or my actual facts here. Yeah, 8.8 inches total length. The handle thickness is on the thick side. And the weight, well, I'm terrible at guessing weight, so let's just see what this weighs. So, 6.7 ounces, which is surprisingly light for a chonky, thick-bladed, thick-handled, unmilled out knife. Compare that to my 8.2 ounce Solid Seal XR, and this doesn't feel light. It feels medium for the size that it is. It feels medium. The balance point is right here. This is a bit handle heavy. So finger rests here. Balance point is back into the handle a little bit, but it still feels nice and maneuverable. I'd say this is a fine knife for if you're military, police, multi-use, self-defense, good at cutting things and being big and durable. I'd say this probably is designed just to be a large working knife. If you cut a lot of boxes, give this a strop or a mild sharpening at the end of your day, and this is going to do well because you got a good secure grip in the hand with this deep hollow grind. It's going to be a good performer. You don't have a choke up position, but you do have a good blade length to hand. It's close to the handle, and the jimping is interesting. It doesn't. It's sort of inset to the handle here, but once you get to the blade, it provides some good traction. So it's usable for the saber grip, and thumb forward grip is doable if you have extra large glove size hands like me. You can get some extra control over the edge, and this is nice and comfortable for draw cutting. Comfortable in reverse grip also. Cool design. The pocket clip, perfectly comfortable, but the bill was too angular pointing up from the box. This provided, I don't know if it was a hot spot, but it was annoying. It was definitely present in my palm. And so I just took it off and took some pliers and bent it down to a more reasonable length. And now it's very comfortable. It is not a deep carry. Carries about here in the pocket, and so you have a lot of material to grab. Loose, like not loose in that it's loose, but what I mean is it's the metal feels thin, and so it's not stiff. So whatever the opposite of stiff is in terms of retention, but you have all this pattern to grab onto material. So this is not going to slide in and out of the pocket easily, even though you do have a nice light tension on the pocket clip. This provides quite a bit of traction. I think to be ideal for in and out of pocket, Kizlyar should have had just a non-grippy area underneath the clip here to make it easier to slide in and out. I like the knife. It has character. It's cool. It was $122 Canadian. So that's going to be quite a bit more than your $90 for equivalent materialed Ontario Knives Rat 1. You can get a plain D2 and a black G10 for about $90. But this is bigger. This is a bit longer and in these dimensions it's taller. The blade's like taller this way and the handle's taller this way. So you're getting more material. And it's from Russia. Kizlyar is a town in Russia and the company's Kizlyar. So you got some travel expenses to get them here. I ordered this on Blades Canada. There's a couple other Kizlyar folding knife versions there, and if you like this design and it's going to feel good in your hand, it's a cool alternative to or equivalent to something like your Recon 1 series from Cold Steel. Similar size, similar handle thickness. You have a bit thicker of a blade stock on the Kizlyar. Here you have the option to choke up, but then you have less. You have a little bit less of a cutting edge on the Recon 1. You can see here, it's a little bit taller. but they're similar. This one is expensive. This is the MagnaCut version. This was like $430 or something for the MagnaCut for 122 with the D2 steel. Then you can get these in, what is it, S35VN for like 180. And then this is 122. So you're looking at equivalent pricing. 122 for D2, 180 for S35. You're getting about the same value there. So yeah, they're both good. Now, do a overall size comparison here. Got the medium size knife that I can get all my fingers around. Go up to what I call full size. This is the Spyderco PM2. Go up a little bit of length in the Code 4. This is my limited edition one with the black handle, black hardware. I'll be reviewing shortly. Nice hollow grind. You can see there's a deeper, taller hollow grind on this, which is a little tiny bit longer overall length, and tiny bit longer overall length on the Recon one here. This is the Recon M1. So you can see where this fits in with size. So for out of 10, I'm not going to give it a 10 because the Kizlyar could have moved this a little bit back to increase the traction point, the access point of the barrel spacers, maybe around them. Don't make them as sharply stepped. And the pocket clip design, while it's comfortable in the hand, and this is easy to, use the pocket clip itself. It will tear up your pocket because of the aggressiveness of the pattern on the handle. And it does like to move around. Once I set it centered, it does like to go to one side pretty quickly. So you have to kind of maintain the centering by adjusting the tension. So this feels old school. This feels like a 20-year-old design. I don't know if it is. It might be. But it's cool. It has its charm. I'm going to give this overall an 8.5 out of 10. I think the cutting performance, even though I stropped it, should probably be better than what it is with the cutting edge. Altogether, it's a good knife. I like it, but it just has some imperfections in the design. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10. Kizlyar Bloke X. $122 on Blades Canada. That concludes my review, and hope you all have a great day. I will see you soon. Bye. Tommy, what you doing? Yeah, he's relaxing.